Good morning, citizens, and we are now looking at what is in the upcoming Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2951 on the schedule. And on the schedule of day 7, we have four, count them, four ship producers. We have Argo, who makes some more industrial machines like the mining mole and the cargo MPUV. We have Greycat Industrial, known for their rock, the very cheap, very, very cheap to buy in game mining vehicles for mining hadanite, aphrite, and dolomite. Really great money makers. At least they were until scanning changed. A little bit harder now to find the minables, but hopefully that kind of gets um, evened out. And then we have Consolidated Outland, which was a new manufacturer last year. Last year they released the Kano Nomad, and the Kano Nomad was like the pickup truck of the show. So it was announced, it was sold, and I picked one up right away. It actually holds the Greycat rock. When it first came out, didn't really do a good job of it. It would fling it into the air, but now that's a rock solid way to start beginning to play. You're able to carry cargo in there. You got a little living space. It's a beautifully designed ship. Weird kind of hover mode to its landing gear. That's the only part that I'm really not a fan of, but it is distinctive, makes it stand out from all the other ships, and for that reason, I like it. And then Kruger, which I'm still unsure if when you're going to be able to use the constellations, if you're going to be able to have one of the Merlins, which are made by Kruger, at the same time in order to try docking ship to ship. I'm not sure if one of those will be rentable. Well, you can rent the Kruger. So it'll be kind of interesting to see. So that is something I am unaware of. But let's go to the pledge store and we'll look at the ships. So we're going to start out with Argo. So Argo Ships, there they are. Argo Ergonomics. We have the Mole. Now the Mole Talus Edition, Carbon Edition, Mole. Basically, when you buy one in game, getting this version here just looks different. It's red. These pods here extend down for greater lift and for hovering. It is a 4-person crew maximum mining vehicle. So unlike the Prospector, which we'll get onto in day 9, this is not as easy to solo mine asteroids, but it's mining the bigger asteroids and it holds more inside it. But the pilot cannot mine. The pilot is piloting the ship. There's mining turrets. So you could, as a pilot, line your ship up, get out, go into one of the 3 turrets, and start mining some of the rocks that are out there, getting quantanium, getting bexylate, getting laranite, borates, anything that you want, you can mine with this ship. The one advantage is that you have 3 mining lasers. You can have a strong laser, you can have a more delicate laser, you can kind of change the heads on there in a little bit larger size. So that is the Argo Mole. It's a pretty cool ship, really nicely designed, very industrial looking, but at the same time very useful, and I think a good looking ship. We have the SRV, which is currently not in game. It's like a tug boat type or a tow truck type ship, I believe, carrying around cargo. We have the MPUV Personnel, which is a personnel character, and the MPUV Cargo, which if anyone is thinking about getting into the game, this is the ship that will be given to you free if you get a game package and use a referral code like this one up here, star GHZNLZL9, when making your account. There's a link in the description below. Any referral code that you use will get you whatever ship you buy when you get a game package between now and December 1st and the MPUV Cargo free in your hangar. Now, I did make a video about CCUs and upgrading and why having something like this is really worth it, because you can upgrade this to another ship. I will make a warning now that I didn't put into that video, but I put into the comments, that if you upgrade your MPUV to another ship before the expo happens, before the expo is over, you will not get the best in show paint for the MPUV or the jacket, because you will no longer have this ship. You will have upgraded to a different ship. So if you're thinking of upgrading, you can always get the CCU, but I wouldn't upgrade it till after the expo. Now, if you're going to upgrade it to a ship like the MSR or the C2 or the 600i, I believe is the other one, and you want those best in show paints, you'd rather have them than the best in show paint for this here and the flight jacket for this one here, then by all means upgrade it before the expo. Otherwise, I would wait. So those are the Argo ships. So these ships here are smaller, and I don't believe either of them have a jump drive. They're just designed to either ferry cargo or ferry personnel from a ship to a planet's surface or long short distances. The Mole is definitely the ship to check out. The next one we'll go to is Greycat. Now Greycat, like I said, produces the Rock. So it produces the Rock, and it produces the Rock DS. The Rock was the first one that came out. This is an awesome money-making ship. It's not really a ship, it's a vehicle. Think of it like a Bobcat if you ever watched, or if you ever done any construction work. So it's got a laser on here, and it mines above hand minables, but it will not mine the larger rocks. But the Hadanite, Dolomite, Aphrite, you can fit enough in here, you can make quite a bit of money. I wouldn't buy this on the website. I would not pay, was it $55? $55. I would not pay $55 at all for this, because in game this is about 172,000, I think it is, 175, somewhere around there. You can rent it for a couple thousand in game, and in one day easily make enough to buy this in game with this machine. It basically will pay for itself when you get in game. The Rock DS is their newer version, holds a little bit more, but like the Mole, you have to have a pilot, and then you can move over or have a second person sitting in the mining seat, as opposed to being able to mine from the pilot seat like this version here. So I'm less of a fan of the DS, because it's either you need two people, and while one's driving, the other one's not doing anything, and while one's mining, the other person's not really doing anything. Whereas the version here, the bottom one, the Rock, you can just mine. Might as well just get two of these. Now, the one thing I'm not sure about is maybe you can ping with both of these at the same time, and that's something that worked well with the Argo, which made it good. And I forgot to mention this: if you have someone in each turret and then somebody piloting, they can all be pinging with radar and looking for rocks at the same time. You're not having to have only one person do that. So you can have more people than one looking for the mineable. So that makes it quite useful. After that, we're going to go look at Consolidated Outlands. And Consolidated Outlands has the Mustang Alpha, which is the one of the starter ships. You're either going to get this or the Aurora if you're looking for the cheapest starter pack to get into the game. And then it's got different Mustang versions, and the Nomad and the Pioneer. Now the Pioneer, not available yet. Pioneer is going to be awesome. When you're being able to actually build outposts, build buildings, this massive ship is what is going to be allowing you to do that. And it is not in the game. Building's not in the game. No one's actually seen this. You can see it's still in concept. They're still working on design. But this is going to be an amazing, awesome, useful ship. Well worth it for anyone who wants to like build an empire when you can claim stakes. Can I actually see on here? I won't say because it's in concept. I believe this came with a way to actually reserve land when it comes out as well. Mustang Alpha Vindicator, another version. And then we have the Kano Nomad. And the Nomad is a ship, like I said, that has the landing gear that kind of makes it float. So it kind of floats in the sky when it's flying. It's got we have a version of the back here. Can't really see. There's like an open cargo bed in the back. If you ever played Elite Dangerous, very much the design. Here we are from above. You can see the pilot seat here, all the living quarter, and then this is the open cargo area in the back. Lowers down and lifts up with a ramp, so you can drive a mining vehicle in there, and they're just from behind showing. So if any cargo you have is going to be exposed to space, as opposed to being able to be safely hidden away. Here's a shot of the exterior with the bed, little table, kitchen area. Quite a cool looking ship. This was definitely a hit last year in the expo, and it was one of the ships that was revealed, as opposed to 3 potential new ships that might be coming out this year, but we're not 100% sure about what those ships will be. So, on to Kruger. Now, Kruger makes the Merlin, and we have the Archimedes. We have the P-72 Archimedes Emerald, and the regular Archimedes are racing ships, and the Merlin is more of a snub fighter. When you get a constellation, like the Emerald, the Taurus, the Phoenix, they all come with a ship, and some Merlins will be able to come either with it or will dock with the ship, so you can actually fly and land, and the cockpit of the ship will get sucked up into the interior so that you're able to get out of the ship and into the inside of the Constellation and walk around. And if you ever needed extra support for flight, you could get into the Merlin. Or if you were wanting to go somewhere else, do some scouting, head down to a planet's surface but not take a larger ship, you could just take like a taxi, the Merlin, and head down. So that's pretty cool. So definitely during the expo, take out a Merlin, give it a fly, see if you can find a Constellation, and try the ship-to-ship docking, and give that a go and see if you like it. So that is it. Day 7, a lot of industrial ships, and then a couple of racing ships, which will be really fun to fly uh, and try out. So hopefully these are going to all be rentable, and you can compare them on day 7. So stay tuned for day 8. Drake Days, normally at the end of the expo, but now happening on day 8 this year.